The Pathfinder Volume 20, Unlocking Regulatory Success, Tips for Crafting High-Quality CMC Submission.
In this audiocast, crafting a high-quality regulatory CMC submission is a complex process that requires significant attention to detail, regulatory expertise, and a clear understanding of the regulatory requirements. In this article, we discuss some best practices for authoring effective regulatory CMC submissions. It is essential to understand the regulatory requirements, develop a submission strategy, use a comprehensive quality system, provide accurate and complete data, provide a comprehensive risk assessment, use clear and concise language, and seek expert input. The process of authoring the CMC submission should begin as early as possible in the product development process, and the differences between an NDA and a BLA should be considered.
The regulatory CMC component of the marketing application submission is a crucial component in getting a product approved by regulatory agencies. It is a complex process that requires significant attention to detail, regulatory expertise, and a clear understanding of the regulatory requirements. In this blog post, we will discuss some best practices for authoring effective regulatory CMC submissions. Understand the regulatory requirements. The first and most crucial step in authoring effective regulatory CMC submissions is to understand the regulatory requirements. This includes not only the specific requirements of the regulatory agency, but also the industry standards and guidelines. The regulatory agency's guidance documents provide a wealth of information on what is expected in a CMC submission. Understanding these requirements and guidelines is essential in ensuring that the submission is complete, accurate, and of high quality. Plan your submission strategy. Developing a submission strategy is essential in ensuring that the submission meets regulatory requirements and is completed on time. The submission strategy should include a plan for the documentation needed, timelines, and resources required for the submission. This will ensure that the submission is well organized, and all required information is provided in a clear and concise manner. Use a comprehensive quality system. The quality system is the foundation of the CMC submission. It is essential to ensure that the manufacturing process is well controlled and the product is of high quality. The submission should include a comprehensive quality system that demonstrates compliance with the regulatory requirements. This includes documentation of standard operating procedures, batch records, and specifications for raw materials, intermediates, and finished products. Provide accurate and complete data. Data is a critical component of the CMC submission. It is essential to ensure that the data is accurate, complete, and well documented. The submission should include data that demonstrates the safety, efficacy, and quality of the product. The data should be supported by appropriate statistical analyses and should be presented in a clear and concise manner. Provide a comprehensive risk assessment. A comprehensive risk assessment is critical in ensuring the safety and efficacy of the product. The risk assessment should include an evaluation of all potential risks associated with the manufacturing process and the product. This includes an evaluation of potential impurities, contaminants, and degradation products. The risk assessment should also include an evaluation of potential interactions between the product and its packaging and storage conditions. Use clear and concise language. The language used in the CMC submission should be clear and concise. The submission should be written in a manner that is easy to understand and should avoid technical jargon. The use of tables and figures can help to clarify complex information and make the submission more accessible. Seek expert input. It is always a good idea to seek expert input when authoring a CMC submission. This can include input from regulatory experts, quality control experts, and subject matter experts. Seeking input from experts can help to ensure that the submission meets regulatory requirements and is of high quality. The process of authoring effective regulatory CMC submissions should begin as early as possible in the product development process. This is because the CMC submission is a critical component of getting a product approved by regulatory agencies, and it can take a considerable amount of time to prepare a high-quality submission. Ideally, the process of authoring the CMC submission should start during the preclinical phase of development. This is when the initial formulation and manufacturing processes are being developed, and it is essential to start documenting these processes early to ensure that all required information is available for submission. As the development process progresses, the documentation should be updated regularly to reflect any changes in the manufacturing process or formulation. This includes updating the quality system, batch records, and specifications for raw materials, intermediates, and finished products. It is also essential to keep in mind that the regulatory agency's guidance documents are continually evolving, and it is essential to stay up to date with any changes to the requirements. This includes attending relevant conferences and seminars and engaging with regulatory agencies to understand their expectations. The process of authoring a new drug application and a biologics license application are similar in many ways, as both require detailed information about the chemistry, manufacturing, and controls of the product, as well as data on safety, efficacy, and quality. However, there are some key differences between the two applications that authors should be aware of. Product type. One of the main differences between an NDA and a BLA is the type of product being submitted. An NDA is used for new chemical entities, such as small molecule drugs, while a BLA is used for biological products, such as vaccines, monoclonal antibodies, and gene therapies. Regulatory pathway. The regulatory pathway for an NDA and a BLA is also different. NDAs are regulated by the Center for Drug Evaluation and Research within the Food and Drug Administration, while BLAs are regulated by the Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research within the FDA. Manufacturing. Manufacturing processes for biological products are generally more complex than those for small molecule drugs, and the CMC section of a BLA must provide detailed information about the production and purification processes, as well as the characterization and control of the final product. In contrast, the CMC section of an NDA typically focuses on the synthesis and manufacture of the active pharmaceutical ingredient. Data requirements. The data requirements for a BLA may be more extensive than those for an NDA, particularly for products that have a complex mechanism of action or that target rare diseases. BLAs may require more data on manufacturing, product characterization, and clinical efficacy and safety, as well as post-marketing surveillance plans. If you are interested in developing an advanced therapy product and would like to speak with someone at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, you can contact the FDA's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research. CBER is responsible for regulating ATPs in the United States, including gene therapies, cell therapies, and tissue-engineered products. CBER's mission is to protect and enhance public health through the regulation of biologics, including ATPs, and it works closely with developers to ensure that ATPs are safe, effective, and compliant with regulatory requirements. To contact CBER, you can visit the CBER website at www.fda.gov/CBER and look for the Contact CBER link, which provides information on how to contact CBER by phone, mail, or email. You can also find information on CBER's regulatory requirements and guidance documents on the website, as well as information on the IND application process for ATPs. It is recommended that you consult with a regulatory affairs professional or legal counsel experienced in app development to ensure that you have a comprehensive understanding of the regulatory requirements and procedures before contacting CBER or any regulatory agency. In summary, developing and manufacturing advanced therapy products involves complex CMC challenges that require a multidisciplinary approach and close collaboration between regulators, developers, and manufacturers. The development of ATPs involves complex compliance concerns that require a multidisciplinary approach and close collaboration between developers, manufacturers, and regulatory agencies. Addressing these concerns requires a proactive and diligent approach to quality management, risk management, data management, regulatory compliance, and supply chain management. The technical area of an effective CMC submission can vary depending on the product and its manufacturing process. However, there are several critical technical areas that should be addressed in a CMC submission, including drug substance characterization. The CMC section should describe the structure, physicochemical properties, and purity of the drug substance, including the method of synthesis, impurities, and analytical methods used to characterize the DS. Drug product description. The CMC section should describe the formulation of the drug product, including the composition, manufacturing process, container closure system, and storage conditions. Manufacturing process. The CMC section should describe the manufacturing process of the drug substance and drug product, including the critical process parameters, control strategy, and validation. Analytical methods. The CMC section should describe the analytical methods used to characterize the drug substance and drug product, including the validation of these methods. Specifications. The CMC section should include specifications for the drug substance and drug product, including acceptance criteria and analytical methods used to test these specifications. Stability. The CMC section should include stability data for the drug substance and drug product, including the conditions under which the stability studies were conducted. Impurities. The CMC section should include information on the identification, characterization, and control of impurities in the drug substance and drug product. Microbiology. The CMC section should include information on the control of microbiological contaminants in the drug substance and drug product, including validation of sterilization and disinfection processes. Reference standards. The CMC section should include information on reference standards used for testing the drug substance and drug product, including the characterization and validation of these standards. In conclusion, authoring an effective regulatory CMC submission is a complex and challenging process. It requires significant attention to detail, regulatory expertise, and a clear understanding of the regulatory requirements. By following these best practices, you can ensure that your submission is well organized, comprehensive, and of high quality, increasing the likelihood of a successful product approval. The process of authoring should begin as early as possible in the product development process and should be updated regularly to reflect any changes in the manufacturing process or formulation. By starting early and staying up to date with regulatory requirements, you can ensure that your submission is well organized, comprehensive, and of high quality, increasing the likelihood of a successful product approval. And finally, while the process of authoring an NDA and a BLA share many similarities, there are some key differences in the regulatory pathway, manufacturing, development design, and data requirements that authors should be aware of. Understanding these differences is critical to ensure that the submission meets regulatory requirements and is of high quality.
Thank you for listening to this audiocast. Are you an emerging biotech or established pharmaceutical company struggling to keep up with the ever-changing landscape of drug regulations? Look no further than Incrissi. We are the leading consulting group helping organizations comply with drug regulations through a comprehensive drug development model incorporating augmented intelligence and data analytics. Our industry experts can guide you through the complex world of compliance, making it more manageable than ever. With our Reimagining Regulatory Pathways services, we can help you design and implement best practices to streamline your operations and ensure you stay in line with current legislation. Our range of services covers regulatory drug development's technical and strategic aspects. Let us help you develop an overall strategy that accounts for all potential risks while still being able to meet your objectives. Visit our website at www.enkrisi.com to learn more and get started on the path to regulatory compliance success.